The pocket fire north of Sedona continues to challenge firefighters with more than 600 personnel working across rugged terrain as smoke drifts into the Sedona area. The Sycamore Fire north of Globe has grown to 9,879 acres, with containment increasing to 20%. A missing Apache Junction teenager has been found safe after a Turquoise Alert led investigators to Globe. And Arizona's 3 largest electric utilities are beginning the search for a possible future nuclear power generation site. Good morning, Central Arizona. For Tonto-TV.com and KRIMFM.com, I'm Randy Roberson. Well, our top news story this morning, more than 600 firefighters continue working around the clock on the pocket fire north of Sedona as crews battle difficult terrain and changing weather conditions. The fire continues to produce large amounts of smoke that have been drifting into the Sedona area. Fire officials say residents may notice changing smoke conditions throughout the day as shifting winds move smoke into and out of local communities. During today's operations, firefighters remain in constant communication with Incident Command as updated weather reports are broadcast over radios to crews working across the fire. Officials emphasize that smoke movement is expected and is being closely monitored as firefighters continue full suppression efforts to protect lives, homes, and natural resources while working in very difficult terrain. And in other related news, firefighters are also making steady progress on the Sycamore Fire north of Globe. As of Wednesday evening, that fire had grown to 9,879 acres and is now 20% contained. Nearly 600 firefighters remain assigned to that incident. Crews strengthened containment lines yesterday on the southwest side of that fire while monitoring overnight firing operations on the southeast flank. Heavy equipment has also been preparing Forest Service roads 584 and 367 for possible use as additional containment lines. Because of the steep, rugged terrain surrounding portions of that fire, firefighters continue using a combination of direct attack and indirect firing operations. Those operations include drip torches along with small incendiary devices, often called ping-pong balls, placed by drones or helicopters to safely remove vegetation ahead of the advancing fire. Fire managers say those carefully planned operations help reduce fire intensity while creating safer conditions for firefighters working on the ground. Well, still ahead, a missing Apache Junction teenager is found safe after a Turquoise Alert leads investigators to Globe. And the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help after more than $40,000 in vandalism damages in Paulden. We'll have those stories and much more coming up next. Ponderosa Plumbing is Central Arizona's go-to plumbing team. For decades, homeowners, builders, and businesses have trusted Ponderosa Plumbing AZ for new construction, remodels, repairs, sewer and drain service, high-definition camera inspections, water heater installation, water treatment systems, and expert slab leak repair. When experience matters, when quality matters, when getting it done right the first time matters, Ponderosa Plumbing delivers. Locally owned, highly trusted, serving all of Central Arizona with honesty, craftsmanship, and unmatched know-how. Located at 107 West Wade Lane, Suite number 5 in Payson, call Ponderosa Plumbing AZ today at 928-476-4727. Ponderosa Plumbing AZ. Experience you can trust, quality you can count on.
I'm Garrett Goldman, and this year my wife and I decided to remodel our home. The home was built as a period-specific home modeled after an 1800s farmhouse and had single-pane windows which were very inefficient. When we started the planning process, we interviewed several window companies to retrofit the existing windows in our house, and we chose Lowry's Window and Door as our contractor. The reason we picked Lowry's is their customer service. The owner of the company, Bobby Lowry, came out to our house multiple times to identify a window that would fit within the existing windows, and then also a method that would allow us to keep all of the existing woodwork in the house and not have to redo any of it. Looking at all of the options for windows, we chose Pella double pane windows for our house because of their look and also their ability to be retrofitted into the existing window frames. Since completion of the project, we absolutely love our new dual pane Pella windows. I would recommend Lowry's for anybody looking to retrofit your existing windows or a new build because of their experience, craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service.
Well, welcome back. A 13-year-old Apache Junction girl who was the subject of a statewide Turquoise Alert has been found safe. Skylar Conville disappeared June 19th after leaving a Circle K near Meridian Drive and Superstition Boulevard. Surveillance video later showed her getting into a man's vehicle. On Wednesday morning, investigators located the suspect in Globe and took him into custody. About 5 hours later, detectives also located Skylar in the Globe area where she was found safe. Apache Junction police credit the Turquoise Alert and the tips from the public for helping investigators quickly identify the suspect and safely recover the teenager. Authorities say the investigation remains active as detectives continue serving search warrants across eastern Arizona. In other news, the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office is asking residents in the Paulden area to help solve a series of vandalism cases that have caused more than $40,000 in property damage. Over the past several months, deputies have investigated multiple reports of trespassing, forced entry, and vandalism involving vacant homes, RVs, and other structures. Investigators have also received repeated reports of juveniles riding ATVs and dirt bikes in neighborhoods where the damages have occurred. While there's no confirmed connection, deputies are working to identify and speak with those riders. Anyone with surveillance video, photographs, or information about suspicious activity is encouraged to contact the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office. And when we come back, today's isolated thunderstorm chances disappear quickly, but much more troubling weather is about to take over this weekend. Your complete Central Arizona forecast is coming up next. Legislative District 7 deserves a representative who understands rural Arizona. Barbie Engel has spent years listening to the people who call it home.
And I've been an advocate on the legislative level for the last 17 years, just as a volunteer civilian, unpaid, saw things that needed to get fixed for myself and for other patients, and I jumped in and figured out how to get that done.
Barbie Engel has worked with lawmakers, helped shape legislation, and believes government should be accountable to the people it serves.
I want to start from a zero line and really look at each of the items that we're putting into the budget and determine if it is appropriate, if it's fraud, waste, and abuse, what's going on, and actually look at every single portion of the budget.
And she's been traveling across all 4 counties of Legislative District 7, listening to the concerns of local residents.
I've been talking to boards of supervisors, town councils, city councils, law enforcement, school boards, and also the people, because I want to be the voice of the people. My things that I'm most excited to accomplish is being able to bring the people's voice forward.
Barbie Engel for Arizona House, Legislative District 7. Learn more at barbieengel.com. Paid for by Barbie Engel for Arizona.
Working hard under Arizona sky, small town roots and family pride. Fix the roads and keep taxes light, bring new business back to life. If you want growth done right, I'm your guy. Honest working, hometown pride, I'm your guy. For the people every time, Bobby Lowry on your side. Bobby Lowry for town council, strong leadership, real results. The people's patience starts now.
Well, taking a look at central Arizona weather, let's begin with today's highs. Across the higher elevations, you can expect afternoon highs around 94 in Payson, the upper 80s up around Heber, and lower 90s near Prescott, and the upper 90s in Sedona. Lower elevations will reach the triple digits in Globe and around 105 in Tonto Basin. Tonight, temperatures fall into the lower 60s across Rim Country, the upper 50s around Heber, and the middle 70s in the lower elevations. Looking ahead, today's slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms will be short-lived. Dry air quickly returns on Friday, followed by a much cooler weekend. High temperatures fall into the upper 80s around Payson by Sunday, while Tonto Basin cools from around 105 today to the upper 90s by Sunday and Monday. However, the bigger weather story is going to be the wind. Southwest winds become increasingly strong beginning Friday, with widespread gusts between 35 and 45 miles per hour, and locally even stronger gusts across northern Arizona this weekend. Well, that combination of gusty winds, very low humidity, and dry vegetation has prompted red flag warnings across much of northern Arizona from Friday through Sunday. Any new fire could spread rapidly. So if you're working or recreating outdoors this weekend, avoid anything that could create a spark, stay weather aware, and use extra caution around existing wildfires. And finally, Arizona's 3 largest electric utilities are taking the first formal steps toward what could eventually become the state's next generation of nuclear power. Arizona Public Service, Salt River Project, and Tucson Electric Power have announced a joint study to identify potential locations for future nuclear generating facilities. The study will evaluate sites across Arizona, including some former coal-fired power plant locations. Officials stress that no decision has been made to build a new nuclear power plant, no technology has been selected, and no site has been chosen. Instead, the current effort is focused on determining whether suitable locations exist before any future regulatory or financial decisions are made. The utilities say growing population, economic development, and record electricity demands have made long-term planning increasingly important for Arizona's future energy needs. And that's our report for today. Thank you for making Tonto-TV and KRIMFM.com part of your day. We're committed to bringing you clear, reliable coverage of the news shaping Central Arizona. And if you're watching or listening on social media, please tell us where you're watching from and like, share, and follow our pages. Your support helps us continue building the strongest local news community anywhere in Arizona. And as we always say, don't keep us a secret. If it's worth watching, it's worth sharing. For Tonto-TV.com and KRIMFM.com, I'm Randy Roberson. Make it a great day.